Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Mubarak, everybody, Ramadan Kareem. And we are starting a special Ramadan show on Connect with the Qur'an, and it's Connect with the conversations in the Qur'an. So Ramadan Kareem, we say that it's a very generous Qur'an. Ramadan Mubarak is used when we are wanting to say that it's a very blessed Ramadan. So there are many ways of welcoming this beautiful month, and it's a very close connection it has with the Qur'an. So this time I wanted to share with you the timeless conversations which are there, and I wanted to start with the very first one, which is between Allah and the angels regarding the creation of Adam. So inshallah you will bear with me with my broken Arabic, and Allah forgive me for my mistakes in my tajweed, but here I'm going to read it straight for you. It's in ayah 30 of Surah Baqarah, and it starts, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة. And this is Allah telling the people that Allah told your Rabb told Allah that I'm creating a vicegerent, a khalifa on earth. And so this is the dialogue, because I want to be working on the dialogue. So what do the angels say? They say, قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك لك ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون. So they say, are you going to place somebody, one person, man, yufsidu, who creates fasad in it on earth, and yasfikuddima, and who will shed blood. And while we aren't we enough there to do your tasbih and your hamd, isn't that why would you want to do that? So just in this tiny conversation, and they say, are you going to, the significance of it is they're not asking because this is the beauty. Angels are created of light, they are pure. So their questioning is not to do with, why is there somebody else in the field? Aren't we enough? Or any of that sort of thing. But knowing on the basis of what they know of the creation before, which had free will, which is the jinn, and their experience of them creating fasad and so on, why would you want to create another being that has that sort of free will? And Allah says, I know, قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا تَعْلَمُونَ ما لا تعلمون. And then he said he taught Adam the names. But just in this beautiful tiny conversation, I just want to go on to what their questioning reflects. It reflects based on their knowledge and on their observation, and then when Allah says that I know that which you don't, signifies that divine wisdom and foresight far extends any of the noble creation, and they are the most noble creation. And the beauty is that so we have to trust Allah's perfect wisdom, especially if it's out of the outcome is beyond our immediate understanding, our human understanding, but also of the angels. So it's and what it also, their questioning is not one of arrogance, but of genuine inquiry, reflecting humility and a desire to understand, Ya Allah, why are you creating this? And so this exemplifies that seeking knowledge and questioning respectfully is encouraged within our deen. So we are allowed to question. Again, we get, just from this little conversation, you get it, yes, you're allowed to question respectfully, not with an attitude, not with an arrogance. So their questioning decision of that's where it's mentioned what I read in my broken Arabic, Allah forgive me for that. But it's just the love of connecting with the Qur'an, connect with these timeless conversations of what is it that it's giving us today to get meaning from. So rather than the inquiry was to understand, uphold his command, and he explained his wisdom, and they immediately submitted without resistance, as is consistent with their nature. Then it also reflects that why the angels were concerned about the bloodshed is because we have this dual potential of good and evil. It's based on our free will, and we are equally prone to be impatient. We have, we're prone to argue, and yet we also have this. When Allah said that He saw the potential of righteousness in us, of having given us the knowledge. The next ayah, which says that He taught Adam the name of all things, that with knowledge, the spiritual growth that outweighs our negatives. So the highlight of the immense capacity of human beings to choose their moral being. So when we're on the right track, that's what we are better than the angels in, and we can also be worse than the animals. So after Allah explains His decree, they don't argue the point. They fully submit to Allah's wisdom, exemplify perfect servitude and submission to divine authority, and so that's a reminder for us to accept Allah's plan, even when we don't understand, or the full wisdom of this is hidden from us. And so the reflection for us as human beings, our take-home message is two things. A, the fact that Allah created us as Khalifa. So we are so honored. We are so honored that Allah has put this whole earth, this everything in for us to take care of. So it's our moral responsibility, and can we uphold this great honor that Allah has given us in His wisdom and His mercy. So we need to, let's contemplate on the trust that Allah has placed on us, and for us to be in humility and in diligence in fulfilling our role on earth. So also back to the idea that, the angels differ from us. They are being of they are pure servants. They are created to fulfill the designated role perfectly without error or rebellion. And this is what makes them pure and free from sin and error. And even they are willing to ask to understand better, which they're allowed to. We humans and jinns, we struggle with temptations, we struggle with moral choices. At every moment we have the choice to do this or that. And they are purpose-bound creation. So since they don't have the desires of the free will like we do, their action reflects manifestation of Allah's will without any personal inclination. Here the questioning was only of what they know as an experience of what does free will do. It can create corruption, and we can see this in our related today, how much fasad, how much corruption in Gaza, what has been going on, of just being the lowest of the low that they have. So the story is about the pure beings. It's the best of creation. Allah created them for His will, to carry out His orders, and even they are questioning. So now, what is our take home in all of this? Our take home in all of this is that. What are we supposed to learn? So the first point, back to divine wisdom. And in everything we do today, I don't understand why is going on. We need to know that the whole scheme of the fasad, the crime, everything that's going on in the dunya, especially in Gaza, in Rohingya, in Uyghurs, all those things, it is within Allah's hand. We need to fix ourselves. We need to make sure, are we within our domain, not creating pollution, cyber pollution, air pollution, rubbish pollution, all those things. What are we doing? So the beauty of this conversation is for us to say, Allah is talking to the angels about us. This is up in the realms of heavens and realms of the unseen, of where, and we, Adam alayhi salam, we are being talked of there, of how we are the Khalifa. And if we are the Khalifa, what are we bound to do? So in this beginning of Ramadan, in the start, what is our purpose? Why are we fasting? To attain taqwa. What is our purpose in life? Is illa liyabudun. It's only to worship Allah. How do we manifest it? We take care of creation, we take care of our societies, and we create a just moral society. And it has been there, that in the time of the Sahabi, soon after, we've had a beautiful golden era too. But because moment to moment our free will can derail us into ego, into just wrongdoing, small things, big things. Why are we willing to fight and argue with our beloved ones for the sake of somebody else who we think is the right, or no, but that's his right as well. So we need to watch ourselves moment to moment, and how with our own do we stay, with everybody, do we stay within the respectful mode of how to be with another? So I find that is the kind of take-home messages we need to do. So, and also, so to be in humility. We are seeking knowledge, but we're seeking it with humility. It's to stay away from being arrogant or trying to say, oh, if Allah has made us vicegerent, that I can be, as bossy and as crummy and do what I like. No, the whole point is that we stay within being in humility, and that the potential of good and evil is within us. So we need to watch out moment to moment to moment where we are going. And that's why, look at the beauty of in fasting. Moment to moment we know we are fasting. The moment I want to pick up a glass, I know, no, I'm fasting. So taqwa is that awareness that got conscious in Ramadan. And just by taking this first story of Allah with the angels, and this is very beginning in the Qur'an. In fact, it is the first conversation in Surah Baqarah with Allah telling them, this is what I'm doing. He didn't have to, he could have just made them, but Allah chose to say, this is what I'm doing. And they immediately had this response, and he says, well, I know what you don't know. And then he taught Adam the names, and then he asked them, well, you tell me now. And he said, no, you glory, subhanaka, qalu subhanaka, la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. We know nothing except what you have told us. And innaka ala antal aliyul hakim. You are the one who's perfect in knowledge and wise. And we also need to always remember that when I don't understand what's going on, why did this happen? Why did I get a flat tire? It's the first of Ramadan, a time full of barakah, full of generosity, and why did this thing happen? And now I'm upset. No. So those are the kind of things we need to look at. The other thing are unique knowledge, the knowledge that is a special gift to us, and accepting Allah's will as being in humility. So this is where, inshallah, we'll continue with some other conversations, maybe not necessarily in chronological order of the Qur'an, but as they come up, the next story, inshallah, we'll be looking at is also with Shaitan, his conversation with Allah. So we've had this beautiful one to start with the angels and Allah, and now we will see also the flip side of how somebody who wants to stay in arrogance and kibr, how he enacts it all. So with that, I pray that it's going to be a beautiful month of Ramadan, and may we see many more, but may it be a very blessed time for us all. So with that, I'd like to end off with Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun, wa Salamun Alal Mursaleen, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, and with a Ramadan Kareem to all of us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.